much as you have been in previous games?
Well, there's a difference between blitzing and pressure. There's different types of pressure you can bring. Sometimes it might come with the blitz. Sometimes it might just be line stunts. I think our defensive front has gotten a lot better. I think Kawan's getting a lot better. I think that Ryan Russell is getting a lot better. I think Brandon Taylor played real physical yesterday. I thought Bruce played better yesterday than he did the week before. So I think our defensive front is playing a lot better. It's allowed us to manufacture some pass rush, which we really need. If you have a good pass rush, then you can have a good secondary. We have a very good secondary, but when we don't rush the passer very well, that negates their performance back there. So I thought that our defense, just in general, played really well yesterday. They played really aggressive. The best we played probably up front with the defensive line, and certainly I think the best we played at the linebacker spot, and it showed. We got off to a fast start and had a really good offensive football team, a dual threat football team, one that passes well and runs well, one that's done very well throughout the course of the season. We had them shut out for the bulk of the game, so a great day defensively.
With Robert Macy now out and your defensive ends now Gooden, Jelani Phillips, and Ryan Russell, do you look at incorporating anybody else into the rotation there, or do you feel like you can have those three guys can carry the load?
If they keep playing well, we'll be okay. I thought that was the best day Gerald Gooden's had this season. He came off that sports hernia operation from a year ago and really struggled with that. Then he got an elbow injury about a month ago, whatever it was. He hyperextended his elbow. That's tough when you're hurting top and bottom. And I thought yesterday was the best that he has done as far as his suddenness off the snap. He played on the edge of the offensive lineman when he rushed the passer. I thought he was very productive yesterday. He created some hurries. He had a sack. I thought he did a lot better job playing physical against the tight ends. I thought it was Gerald Gooden's best game yesterday, and I thought that made a difference in our front play in some ways.
What have you thought of his play this season? I mean, you mentioned some of the injury problems that he's had. Has that slowed him down? I mean, obviously, statistically, it doesn't always show how a guy's really playing, but what have you thought?
I think he's getting better. I think he started off slow, and I think his production was minimal as a result of the slow start. And I think he's gotten healthier the last couple of weeks and is more sure and been playing with more confidence. And he's been a proven pass rusher in the past, and we really need him to step up. And yesterday he did, and I hope that he continues that trend because we need him to, really need him to. And any time that you're injured, and it slows down your performance. Then once you start getting better and you start gaining your confidence back, you can expect him to gain some momentum as a player, and that's what I see out of Gerald right now. I think he's really gaining some momentum the last couple of weeks as a player.
How close were you to playing Kitchens yesterday, and or you just like the lineup you have out there right now?
Well,
right tackle.
Going into the week last week, I was real sure that we're going to play both of those guys. And Trevor has played very well. He has played very well. Really pleased with Trevor Foy. He's quick and really aggressive. He's got a mean streak in him, and that goes a long ways. And finishes blocks and gets after him. But I would have liked to play both of those guys at the right tackle spot. We held Justin out last week and held him out of some practices with a shoulder injury, and he came out on Tuesday and he practiced fantastic. He practiced the best he has. He was fresh. He got after him. And Wednesday he was so sore he couldn't raise his arm up. So I don't know if he could have gone yesterday or not. We went into the game with the idea that if he could go and Trevor was holding up and getting the job done, that we wouldn't jeopardize getting Justin injured again because we're going to need him. And then if we ran out of tackles, we were going to put him out there and see how he did. But I was glad we didn't have to play him because he didn't get re-injured, and we're going to need him to get healthy. But it's more of a result of him re-injuring it on Tuesday and being so sore that he couldn't practice the rest of the week. And then he might have been able to go, but he couldn't go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so we opted not to put him in there as long as Trevor was holding out.
So you have to evaluate him again this week in practice, see how he holds up?
I think he's going to be fine. I really do. It's an injury that we're accustomed to dealing with around here. It's not easy to play with. You got to suck it up. There's pain involved, and he'll get some more confidence in it. But I expect him to play and play a lot.
It didn't appear that anybody else or anybody was seriously injured yesterday, but just
came out for a while.
Yeah.
He's okay. I don't think we have anybody. I don't have my injury list with me, but I don't think we had anybody that got injured yesterday that I'm concerned about being available for practice Tuesday or the game against Michigan. I think we're going to be okay.
The offense in the second half, obviously you guys came out and played really well to start in the first half, and the second half didn't put any points on the board. What do you think of the second half, I guess, offensively?
Well, I think there's the result of a lot of things. You have a lead, and sometimes you don't want to take any chances, and I thought that we were conservative in some ways from a play calling standpoint. And we were playing against a very good football team. They were nationally ranked defensively. I think they were the 12th ranked defense in college football up until this past Saturday, and then they came out in the second half and they wanted to win too, and so I thought they really cranked up. Illinois did, and they played well. And then we do some things from an offensive standpoint where we change the tempo up in the game. Where sometimes we're in the huddle, and sometimes we go no huddle, and sometimes we change the snap count around. And we were trying to take time off the clock, and we got away from some of our no huddle stuff, and that allowed them to start bringing more of their pressures. And they brought a lot more pressure in the second half. The Illinois defense did than they did in the first half, and some of that had to do with us huddling up every time and them having a chance to see who we had in the huddle and get their pressures called based on personnel and time available. So it really was more of a management issue from a play calling standpoint, where you got a 21-point lead and there's some plays that you think are good plays, but why take a chance on that play with a 21-point lead and the defense playing well? And then Illinois picked it up some too in the second half. They wanted to win.
Just after watching the film, what stood out about Caleb's, especially his first half yesterday?
A lot of things stuck out about Caleb yesterday. I thought he played a heck of a game, and we went in the game with the idea that we were going to play both of our quarterbacks, and then he played so well. At the point in time we were going to put Robert in the game, but Caleb was playing so well we didn't want to take him out. But he was 8 of 10 in the first quarter, 100 yards passing and a touchdown. It's pretty good stats. That's official stats. His quarterback stats was 9 of 9. So they was throwing strikes and playing very well. And then at halftime he was 12 of 16 official stats with 2 touchdowns, but 13 of 15 quarterback stats with 2 touchdowns. And when a guy's playing like that, it's hard to take him out of the game. He did a great job with clock management wise. We thought Caleb did manage the offense very well. They were a team that ran so many different coverages. It's unbelievable. I don't know how many coverages they used in the game yesterday, Illinois. I would say 20 or more coverages and pieces of coverages. So what they did from how they presented their defense was a lot. And Caleb is the guy that has the most experience. We were trying to minimize errors. And having the most experienced quarterback in there, we thought was to our advantage yesterday. So I think Caleb did everything well yesterday. I think he ran the ball well yesterday. He kept plays alive. He threw strikes. He got us in the right checks. I thought his best game by far, and I thought he was one of the big reasons why we won the game yesterday. Excellent play from Caleb Turbush.
The defense seems to be playing with more energy as of late, more big hits, more big plays. Do you think they're starting to develop a bit of a swagger on that side of the ball?
Well, I think that they, are definitely playing with a lot more confidence, and you have to be sure about what you're doing and able to go out and play with a lot of confidence. And I think we have honed down our defensive package, the things that we're good at, the things that we like doing, and I think that's made a big difference. That they've gone into games with maybe a smaller package, a smaller game plan, and that's allowed them to play wide open and to execute better. We thought our whole key to victory playing against Illinois yesterday was to go out there and try to outfight them and out-execute them. You can go out there and outfight them, but if you don't out-execute them, you may not win the game. Or if you go out there and out-execute them, but you don't take the fight to them, because they were a very scrappy football team. They brought a lot of pressure defensively. They did a lot of things kicking game-wise. They were a high-scoring offense, and I think that our defense went out and executed really well yesterday, and that allows them to play more wide open. So I think we're getting better defensively. I think our whole football team is, but particularly defensively, I think we've gotten a lot better the last 2 or 3 weeks, and there's still some real upside. We can continue getting better. I assure you we will.
I know there's a lot of season left, obviously, and I know you don't read the message boards and care much what the fans think, but do you think that win yesterday was some kind of a statement victory for maybe you and the staff?
I haven't given that any thought, and we get ready to play Michigan. Pretty simple, really. What do you think? That's how I feel. Right?
That's fine. I just want to
We want to win. We want to win, and we have the potential to be a very good football team, and we're getting a lot better. You know, we've been talking about it all along. We started off a little bit slow for a couple different reasons, but the guys keep coming out and working hard and giving us every reason in the world to believe in them. And we've gotten a lot better as a football team the last 2 or 3 weeks. And if we play up to our potential, we can go into every game every Saturday believing that we can win. And we've done that, particularly the last 3 weeks, and it's really showed up.
You've talked about it the last few weeks, just about a simplified approach on defense. And you may have said a couple things why that is, but what's like a specific thing that is more simple for the defense?
Less assignments.
As opposed to maybe the first few games of the year.
Less assignments and less schemes. You always want to have an answer for everything. And you can, in the office on the grease board, when there's not anything, the clock's not ticking and no one's trying to beat your brains out, and we have all the answers, but they have to do the playing. And I like the things that we tried. We tried a lot of things early in the season. The spread offenses give you a lot of problems, particularly if you have a football team that has the potential to spread you out, and they're really good at passing it and really good at running it. That really spreads your defense thin. And there's some things out there that we tried that we thought would help us some against some of the spread offenses that we're going to see throughout the course of the year. And some of those things are things that we liked and we kept them. And some of them were things that we still like them, but it was too much for our defensive guys to try to master and be able to execute all those things at one time. So it's schematic stuff. It's X's and O's and schemes, and they're all good, but we can't do them all. So we had to cut back and hang our hat on the things that we thought we were good at that could help us win, and we kept a few of those wrinkles, but we had too many.
It's like, for example, it's like if you had 20 things and you went to 10, or did you have 30 and went to 15?
I don't know what the exact number is.
But
Yeah.
is that a fair comparison that you had all these plays or schemes and then you just cut them as you went on?
Again, who you play against has a lot to do with it too, because the number of personnel groupings that they have and the number of plans that they have, you feel like you have to have an answer for it. So all of a sudden they're a team that empties out. Well, how much game plan do you need against empty? They're a team that plays 2 back. They're a team that plays 1 back. They're a shotgun team. They're a pistol team. They have a great player at this spot. A dual threat quarterback. Different schemes that will allow you to line up and defend different groupings and different personnel and different offensive game plans. And you can't do it all. But it seems like nowadays there's some offenses that are almost on the cutting edge of being able to do it all. So you keep trying to come up with an answer for everything, and eventually you have to say, listen, we're only going to put this much in, and we're going to get good at these things, and they're going to have to be good enough to hold up, because you can't do it all. And that's about as simple as I can put it, really.